All right, folks, we're back. Today is the 17th of December, Tuesday the 17th of December, year of our Lord 2019. It's your hosts, Eric
and Mark.
And we're back with yet another root beer that a lot of people, I'm sure, have heard of, known as IBC root beer, established in 1919, so happy 100 years for a few more days at least until we hit 2020. Mark, what can you tell us about IBC?
So, like Eric said, it was founded in 1919 by the Griesdeck family, among some other brewery companies in St. Louis, Missouri. And so, since it was founded among a family and a bunch of other brewing companies, it got renamed to IBC, which stands for Independent Brewing Companies. So it kind of merged with a bunch of companies to form this one company. And so it's 100 years old, but that history has gone through a lot of different ownerships. It's currently owned by Dr. Pepper. And something interesting to note is that in 2016, they switched from high fructose corn syrup to it's now made with cane sugar. So they changed how it tastes a few years back.
Yeah, and there's a lot of remarks on at least their company website saying how it's a top secret recipe. They keep it really tough and under wraps. But if they've obviously made a change to the recipe in terms of eliminating high fructose corn syrup. So again, we're only tasting the current one, so we can only, I guess, leave it up to imagination what the original iteration tastes like. Also, something to mention was it really grew to a great level of popularity during the 1920s, obviously during the Prohibition era, as an alternative to alcohol. As we know, that didn't stop bootlegging or anything like that, but it rose to popularity nonetheless during that time. Something also to mention as we check out these bottles as we are about to get to pouring. Usually it's a very distinct, at least in the times I've had IBC before, it came in a more distinct engraved glass bottle that kind of was the trademark for this brand of root beer. As we see now, it's clearly just a regular brown bottle, pasted on labels, not an engraved glass molded bottle. So that's kind of disappointing, but again, we're here for the taste, not so much the aesthetics. So let's get to these babies.
Alright,
there you go, sir.
Bottle opener, but it's twist off. So
he's able to do it.
It hurts.
Do you need help, sir?
Oh.
He did it, folks. Ouch. We're proud of him. But at what cost? Clean pour. Not too much on the fizz.
I smell the cane sugar.
Yeah, I smell the cane sugar too, but I also smell distinct root beer smell, so we like that. Pretty good pour from Mark too, can't complain. What do you think?
Yeah, it has that root beer cane sugar smell that has become pretty much a trademark throughout this whole series now.
160 calories per bottle, so right in the middle of what we've otherwise seen.
40 grams of sugar.
Yeah, so I guess not so much on the sweeter side. Reverting back to the norm in terms of caffeine free after the one deviation yesterday with Barq's. So don't have to worry about Mark being up all night when he goes back to school tomorrow and gets ready for those tests. Woo, education. Cheers. Ooh, he's mad. Okay. Not too sugary, distinct root beer smell. Folks, we're off to a good start. Wow, look at this. I didn't even see it. I think this is the first root beer bottle I've seen a warning label on. Warning, contents under pressure, bottles may burst, causing eye or other serious injury. So folks, wow, daring with this root beer. What do you think, Mark?
It does have that cane sugar taste, but it's not overwhelming. So I get the root beer flavor, and also I'm feeling like a hint of maple, maybe.
Maple? Like maple syrup? Yeah, at least on my end, I don't taste that so much. I definitely taste the cane sugar, but again, I'm not overwhelmed by it. You know, usually what you folks have seen, I'm not a huge cane sugar person, but it's subtle enough where it doesn't emasculate or supersede or take over the baseline root beer taste. which I really do appreciate. 100 years, man. Crazy. IBC bottles memories. So on the side. I'll start off with the score tonight. Let me do one last sip. Make sure I get this right. Very, very, very solid. I'm feeling generous tonight, folks. We're gonna start off with a very solid 8.01. My first soiree into the 2 decimal places. Not quite. I wish I could give it 8 flat, but again, no whole numbers. But I had to put it in the 8 range nonetheless. So 8.01 for me.
I'll go a bit lower, but still respectable. I'm going to give it a 7.6. So definitely on the higher end, especially considering I feel like with cane sugar, it's definitely on the higher end for those.
So a very, very respectable root beer overall today in week 17. I saw root beer different review. Not to plug another root beer review site. I saw someone give it a 7.5 out of 10. So me and Mark are even a little bit above that, but very, very solid, good score nonetheless. Because you know we can be hard markers with these. Got anything else?
I'm praying for a delay tomorrow. Think it's gonna happen.
Folks, he already had a day off from school today. What else? That's the problem with today's educational system. Too many snow days, not enough times. Instead of hitting the slopes to sled, they should be hitting the books to study. My thoughts.
They're wrong.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's almost Christmas time though, so well, maybe a little holiday gift.
Yeah.
All right. That's it. See you tomorrow. Stay warm.